Howdy folks, Kathy Williams-Devries here, bringing you the latest in my series on how to practice your scales. We are now in the key of 3 flats, which is E flat major and C minor. It's one of my least favourite keys, probably because with C minor you are dealing with the left hand C, and I really don't like that. Now, the books I'm referring to are the Clarinet by Thurston and Frank. I like it. It's a good introduction to the scales. It gives you the scale, the arpeggio, the interrupted scale, and the scale in thirds. Plus it gives you a little technical study at the end of it. The main things you need to deal with in E flat is the A flat. It's actually really tricky though. And going using the left hand C, which I hate using, and also going from A flat to B flat is really problematic. Which actually the little finger exercises at the beginning of the Thurston don't seem to address that. You've got which I don't see there's that difficult, but the next one is a nice little exercise for the left hand pinky. And the next one's quite a nice little exercise as well. But actually the best exercise I've found in E flat major comes from Polacek. His advanced studies has a wonderful number. The third advanced study is brilliant. It's based on Rimsky-Korsakov Scheherazade, and it's that which deals with that trouble spot beautifully. Now, when we come to the scale itself, I'm looking at the Thurston here, which is pretty much, the reason I like the Thurston is the scales are grouped per key rather than per scale type. But there's no real drama. And of course, if you're working from the Baermann, that's why I like the Baermann. You do get that slightly, you do get that arpeggio at the end of it. C minor. So there's no real dramas there. Then following that, you've got your interrupted scale. And that's the same in the Thurston as in the Baermann. Here, you're going from the A flat to the F, so you're also dealing with not only the left hand C but also the left hand F. And you've got to choice of which E flats you want to use, except after the B flat because it goes to a C. You can't use it. Notice that I use the left hand C there, and it's quite a nice little exercise to the left hand. And here, nice little exercise again, going from the A flat to the B flat. And then making sure you use the left hand C. So that's no great big drama. In the C minor, same thing again, left hand C. We don't have a low F in this one. Notice I use the left hand C. And then going away from the Thurston to the Klose. Now I have two Klose books, the soft cover and the hard cover. The hard cover I like. It has a few scales that aren't in the book, in any of the other books, and these are the interrupted scale at the octave, which is brilliant. It's not the major scale that's any real challenge. It's the minor, which you can do. It's written out for the melodic, but it does have brackets if you wish to use the harmonic, and I find the harmonic particularly challenging. And here is difficult because, not really. You just use the right hand B. And the melodic is not quite so challenging. Because it's all written out for you. Then once we've done the interrupted scale at the fourth and the octave, we then go into the returning scale. Again, nice little left-hand exercises, going from the A flat to the B flat, and also fiddling around the throat tones going from A flats to B flat. So nice little left-hand exercises there. Note I use the left-hand C. And nice little exercise involving the A flat to the B flat. And using the left-hand C and the A flat to B flat. Now mainly you can use this E flat. It helps to keep it in the one hand, though you do need to use this one for the last set because you're going to A, C. Once we've done with those scales, we now come on to the broken chords. I don't particularly like in the altissimo going from the E flat to the G. It's finicky. I use those two fingerings. Going from B flats to E flats is always fun. And with C minor, just remember you need to use the left hand C, and I also still hate going from E flat to G. It's all clacky going from E flat to C. You might want to practice that one. And then you've got the broken chords again, going from B flat to G. So it's all very clanky going from G to E flat. So I hate that, but take that out on its own. Again, with C minor, you're going from C to a top G with a bit of clanking around E flat. And then left hand C. So that's the difficulty there. And then once you've done those, you come upon the chords of the 7th. And I tend to use the latter half of this as a sort of scales in 6th exercise for legato. Now here we come across, we go B flat to F, and it needs to be the left hand F so that we can get to the right hand A flat. Oops, sorry, I'm not on the ball this morning. And of course you've got your nice little sort of clanking around the A flat to B flat again. You could use that B flat, I suppose, but I don't think it translates very well going from the B flat to the A flat though, so I would tend to finger that out. And now this next part of it I would take slowly for legato reasons. That's quite difficult going with the left hand F to the D. It doesn't. The fingers don't seem to want to do that very coordinated like. Do use the long B flat there. A bit of clanking around the A flat and B flat in the upper register there. Then we come to our scales in thirds. There's a couple of different versions of this. There is the Baermann. I'm just taking a look at the Klose. I know there's something different there. So in the Klose, just looking here. So you're dealing with the A flat to B flat clanking and sort of left-handed stuff. And then the minor. And you can also do it as well if you want. The thirds in both the Baermann and the Longinus, no going up to a top G, which is nice. But you start on a low G. This is why I love the Baermann, in that the scales don't necessarily start on the tonic. And when you're looking at scales in your pieces, they don't necessarily start on the tonic. You need to be good enough to be able to start a scale on any degree of the scale and still hold the key, which is why I do the returning scales and the interrupted scales and the scales in 6, because it allows you to do that and improves your sight reading. So, in this case it starts on a low G. It's a bit of finicking around going from a B flat to a G, you better get that clean. And then going up. So those two bars are brilliant to get the A flat to the B flat. And you don't have that difficulty in the C minor because of the melodic nature. Remembering, of course, the left hand C. And then that's your scales in thirds. We then come to the scales in 6, and here we're looking both at Klose and Baermann. Baermann's particularly nasty, I think. Oh, sorry, not the Klose. I would use this E flat. And you can see why I do these slowly. That's quite a difficult little one, and this is even worse in C minor. challenging. You can see why I do take them slowly. Scales and sets, again, you should watch my warm-up videos. I do take these very slowly. Note I use the long B flat. Etc. And then in C minor. So the hardest thing is the E flat to the C. You want to practice that a few times to get that right. Etc. So that's the scale, the triple flats, E flat major and C minor. I do recommend that polycheck. There's actually a couple of exercises in E flat. And I've lost my polycheck. There you are. So the ones I recommend, there's number 7, although that doesn't really have as many hurdles as number 3. Number 3 is absolutely brilliant. And very good for clacking around the pinky keys as well. So that's introduction to E flat and C minor. We'll be looking at the 4 sharps of E major and C sharp minor coming up next. But that's all for today. Goodbye. Thanks for listening. See you later.